Hey everyone, and welcome to my video on the Southampton Parkrun. This was my first ever parkrun, and it's probably the one that I've done the most parkruns on. So as you can see, there's a fairground on the left hand side, but normally that is where the finishing funnel is. So for the purposes of this weekend, they've just moved it to the other side. But as you can see, over 1,000 runners at this parkrun. It's one of the kind of busiest ones in the country. So it's quite congested at the start, but all you got to do is just kind of stick to your pace, look for openings, and just try and be courteous to other people, not tripping people up or anything like that. As you can see with the stats, my heart rate is kind of spiked straight away just because I never warmed up, just because Nicole was running before me. So just handing over Lola and Nicole before the start and everything like that just meant that I wasn't able to kind of get out for a decent warm-up. And then obviously we had the photo in the finishing t-shirts from last weekend's ABP Southampton half marathon. So yeah, in this photo you can see a couple Hamlets. You can see Ian, Sai, and then Jimmy as well. Some really good runners, so I know I'm probably in the right place. Fair play to the buggy runner as well. He has a good race. And here you can see we come up to the first corner. So this route, it's kind of like one small loop and then one larger loop. But it's a really good route. It's only got one kind of key hill. Shout out to this woman on the corner. She's always kind of encouraging, and she's got quite like a prominent voice. It's very distinguishable. This guy in the Team 24/7 tank top, shout out to you for your trainers and socks combo. He's got the Alpha Freeze with a matching shoe socks. I'm just trying to squeeze through here. I find that like if you kind of just sit on someone's shoulder and just maybe cough or something like that, it gives people that kind of mental note just about, oh, someone's coming through. As you can see, there's a little bit of a slope here. And you actually run this stretch of path twice. So on the slope, my key kind of aim for this run was just to not lose too much time on the slopes. So there's this small incline here, and then there's a more prominent incline literally just over halfway. So my key thing was to just kind of keep steady effort and make sure that I don't lose too much on the hills. And as you get to the kind of top of this little slope, as you can see, we're turning right at this crossroads, and then you've got a nice little decline there. So it's a good chance just to kind of get that heart rate back under control, take the load off the legs, but maintain that pace is a key thing. You don't want to ease off too much. As you can see, really nice and scenic. Lovely view of the kind of duck pond there. And then as we get down to the bottom of this little hill, Nicole and Lola were at the play park with Kim. So that's just a nice little kind of check off. Something to look forward to. Because obviously without a warm up at the start, it was feeling like quite hard work. Looking good side, keep up, mate. So the route is mainly on these kind of tarmac paths. However, there are a couple of sections that are on like compact gravel, so it's not too loose underfoot. You still get plenty of grip So even your kind of like slick racing shoes, if that's what you're going for, you'll still be able to get plenty of purchase on them. As you can see, I'm just kind of maintaining that pace, maintaining the speed, and my heart rate hasn't spiked, which is a good thing. It just means I've got it under control, and we're just slowly kind of grinding through the run. That's me just glancing over to see if I can spot Lola and Nicole. And then sure enough, they were ready and waiting at the fence. It's always a boost to hear Lola shouting "Daddy." At this point, I know I'm coming up on 2k. I know I'm round about the pace I was kind of looking for, expecting, so everything's going so far so good. Also on the corner, we've got the Hamwick photographer David, as per usual, doing a wicked job. Make sure to give him a wave and a smile, and he got some decent photos as per usual. Really appreciate him and the kind of time and effort he puts in. So on the right there, you can see the finishing funnel. So how it works is we will rerun the first portion, but where we turned right to go down the hill, this time we will turn left to go up the hill. And there you can see on the little route map, there's a big loop. So it's uphill for the first part, and then once you loop round, you take a left turn, loop round, and then it's kind of like a swooping downhill. So it's not too bad. It kind of evens out. Heart rate's still under control, and we're not too far outside of my kind of PB pace here. Maybe no more than kind of like 5 seconds per k. So I'm running well. I'm feeling good, despite the kind of higher mileage this week. So that's a bonus. That's another good thing about being in a running club is, like for instance here, I've just gone past Sai, who's a member of the same running club that I'm a member of, Hamwick Harriers, and that's one good thing I like about the club is you've always got points of reference. There's always faster runners that you can just kind of test. So me being in around Sai's kind of pace, like halfway through essentially, is a good sign, because he's a really strong runner, and he runs really well at park runs especially. So the fact I'm in around that kind of ballpark is a good sign at this point in the run. So like I said, small incline as you can see on the slope scale, and we're just kind of taking it steady, ready to attack that hill coming up. The reason to attack the hill is just because I've spent too many times. I honestly think I've done Southampton Parkrun like 80 or 90 times, and I've done too many runs where I've been on pace, but then I've kind of tried to recoup on the hill, and I can just never really get myself going. I think I respond better if I dig deep on the hill and then just try and like hang on to it on the back end. Like I said, it's downhill, it's swooping, so technically you should be able to kind of make up some of that effort. And here we are, we're catching up with the Alpha Fly guy. That socks trainers combo was just outrageous, unreal. I do seem to remember though, once we get up towards the corner, it's like he was kind of like covering me off a little bit, so he wouldn't let me through on the inside, And then when I was going around the outside, he was kind of like drifting out as well. So I was just like, mate, screwed in that. So you'll see he's just not moving over. And then when I come over this side, I've got to make a conscious effort just to kind of like push it. But at the end of the day, everyone's running their own run. You're running at your kind of maximum effort. I'm sure it's never done on purpose. It's just one of those things. And you'll see here, first of all, fair play to the guy with the buggy. He was always going to struggle here. But you'll notice how my pace at the start was 15 kilometres per hour. And now it's up to 16 just because I'm making sure to dig deep. 5% slope, so it is a fairly steady slope. And my heart rate's just creeping up as well, which is to be expected. And then once I get to the crest of the slope, I did take a couple 100 metres just steady, just kind of sat on this guy's shoulder, just tried to recoup, get that heart rate back down before I then pressed on for that last couple of K. But again, really nice scenery, lovely morning for it, nice and sun was shining, but it wasn't too warm either, which was lovely. At this point, I'll just say thank you to everyone that voted on my Instagram poll on what trainers to wear. It was between the Adios Pro 4s and the Nike Vaporfly 2s, and the Adios Pro 4s got it. And I couldn't fault them really. Felt really good, really comfortable, and still nice and responsive. So you could still feel like you were getting a benefit. Normally I'd say thank you to the volunteers and stuff like that, but at this point I didn't really have much energy at all. I think I just kind of waved my hand. When I initially saw this guy in front, I thought, oh nice, like I'll be able to pick him off. But to be fair, even though it looked like he was kind of fatigued, he was still moving along steady. And I didn't want to exert too much effort getting past him, especially at this point, because you still do have a way to go. So I just thought, right, if I just cruise up, just try and gradually catch him, and then just kind of use that momentum just to keep going. But like you can see, we're on the minus 3% slope now, so that heart rate's coming down again, even though I'm maintaining that good solid pace. At this point, I knew I was on for something close to my kind of PB. So it was nice just to have that boost that I'm actually feeling okay. I'm able to kind of recover my heart rate despite the high mileage week. So that just kind of gave me the confidence just to maintain. Normally at this point, if I was struggling, I'd be trying to convince myself just to ease off for the last K. We've all been there in your head, you're just trying to negotiate and think, right, yeah, maybe I'll just ease off and I'll just tell people that I wasn't going to go for it today, but I made a point of just kind of holding myself to the fact that I was going to see what I had in the legs today. Also, the guy in the buggy just bombed past, as well as this guy in the red t-shirt. Really good pace. They'd obviously he recovered well from the hill. It was a double buggy as well, so it's not even just a single, double buggy. To be running this pace with a double buggy's very impressive to me, so fair play. And as you can see, we're still on that kind of neutral / downhill slope. I think it is just still feels downhill, just very slightly, even though they're just saying that it's flat. But I was really happy overall, and with this kind of graphic, just to see that my pace was quite steady throughout the race, which is good. Normally, because I hadn't ran a 5k effort in so long, I was dreading it a bit. Because I've had times where, because I've gone all out and I hadn't really had to train to back it up, I'm coming up to the final K and I'll just find myself like dry heaving as I'm running along, and it's dark times, so it was nice. I definitely felt more kind of prepared, so the onus to keep the kind of high mileage weeks consistent is definitely there, just because I know efforts like this will just get easier and easier, and the main point is just to make it manageable and avoid injury, so don't go too crazy with it. So as you can see, that's the other runners branching off after their small loop, heading up to before they go up that hill. We just come in here on the right hand side, really well marshalled as per usual, and then here you come back onto the flats, and then this is just a case of running back towards the start line, and then you just do that gravel loop towards the finish line. This is really nice and flat, and you can get eyes on the finish line quite early, which is a nice little mental boost. And I knew again that Nicole and Lola were waiting for me. So you've done the hard part, you just got to stick with it for the last kind of lap of a running track. That's how I think of it. That's how I keep it manageable in my head. So normally, like I said, that fair isn't there, so you come up towards the end of the path, and instead of turning left like we're going to do today, you would turn right and through the finishing funnel. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for the feedback on all the videos, and the last video as well. I definitely feel like I'm kind of getting better, and little things like these kind of graphics that come as a result of the kind of camera I went for is a massive boost. So we'll just keep trying to build up. In the next week or so, I'm hoping to get a logo sorted, and then just kind of keep the momentum going. But like I said, any kind of questions, queries, or any like video ideas you want to see, just let me know on any of the platforms. Like I said, I really appreciate it, especially the boys from work on the last one, just saying that on the last video they liked the music, but it was maybe a bit overpowering on the first bit. So like I said, it's all just a learning experience, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, guy in the buggy looks like he was like drink driving then for a minute, but I know what they're like. I've got one for Lola, and it's not got front wheel steering, so you've literally got to like lift up the front wheel to turn it, so they can be a bit dodgy. But I was happy that I was able to kind of push here at the end. As you can see, it's just slightly long for me, and through we go.